make
Wait.
us
I got something to say on that.
All right, we're finally back with some more Bryson Gray. We're checking out his new song, I Do Not Comply. Let's get into it.
Fame. I can't wear no mask, I'm not vain. More like Bruce Wayne, been my song on Spotify. Hey, and they wonder why I keep it 100, they just lie. I do not comply. Ring the alarm. They want a needle in my arm, trying to do me harm.
Okay, that was funny.
This beat is good.
That was funny.
Sounds good.
He said he can't wear a mask because he's not Bane.
Yeah.
More like Bruce Wayne.
Can't muzzle me.
Yeah, I don't know why, man. Bryson's hilarious.
He's funny.
That dude's hilarious, man. Because he's basically equating the mask with being a bad guy. And I get it. You know what I mean? I get why people want to wear masks. Because, I mean, depending on which expert, which science you look at, you know, it's also confusing. A lot of it contradicts. But depending on which one you look at, it might say, hey, this is going to help save people's lives by you not spreading it. You know what I mean? And other science will say, won't. So, like, if you want to wear a mask, I don't care. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to wear masks. They want to breathe. I get it. It is what it is.
Right.
Do not comply. Ring the alarm. They want a needle in my arm, trying to do me harm. I might disappear and buy from require mask on planes. I don't fly. I do not comply. Ask Caitlyn Biddy if they require masks, then I don't buy. Ban me from my speech, thought it was free, but I see that's a lie. Regardless, I'm fly. Got a message for the FBI. January 6th was lit. Hey, I do not condemn. They said I love guns, and it's true. To wait for the win. Real MAGA gang, fake MAGA, do it for the fame. I don't wear no mask, I'm not Bane, more like Bruce Wayne. Put my song on Spotify, hey, and they wonder why I keep it 100, they just lie. I do not comply.
Okay.
That's interesting. His message for the FBI.
Man, are they going to ban this song?
Do you think they will?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Like
At least
modern
so far.
days, like on these platforms, you're not really allowed to say.
It's like the rules
just
are
anything.
flexible. Like they say exactly what you can and can't do, but then they'll like loosely interpret what you're doing.
Yeah, they enforce them
yeah.
selectively. That's why Bryson got banned off Twitch recently.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Bryson says what he means. Like literally says what he means. Boom. You don't have to guess what Bryson thinks. You know what I mean? What message he's trying to get across. He says what he's thinking. He says what he means.
Right.
Boom. They
It's
don't like that.
unfortunate that we're like our culture is starting to look down on that and condemn it and silence it, because it's like, would you rather live in a place where everybody just says things that you want to hear and never what they actually think?
Right.
Because then you can't trust anyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, even if you don't like what someone says, it's really like the first step is like knowing what they actually have to say. I feel like, you know what I mean? And it's like, if we don't even know what people actually are thinking behind their, you know, glasses and their mask and whatever, then it's like we're not effectively communicating.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, every time I listen to Bryson, I always think about freedom of speech, basically. Because I have to wonder every time I listen, like, oh, is he going to get banned for this? Is he going to get banned for this? Are they going to take this song down? Like, every time I listen to one of these, I have to think about that. That's a realistic possibility. It's happened before.
And the era of digital, you know, warfare, basically social media sort of taking down people and stuff like that, deplatforming. I feel like it's kind of digital war, and he's kind of a martyr of this sort of weird situation, you know?
Right.
Like, he's definitely an example of somebody that...
Like, whether you agree or disagree with anything he says, is I think we can agree that he should be able to say it.
Right. Or can we?
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
There's a ton of people who think he should not be able to say it.
Right, but that's
why I want to continue to do Bryson reaction, because I mean, I want to support his ability to say whatever he wants.
Because that's the problem. It's like, well, you know, people will be like, well, he shouldn't be able to say this, 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 and this. He should just be able to say whatever he wants to say within the confines of this. But the problem with that is, if it offends you, then you want to restrict his speech. But what if something you're saying offends him?
Right.
You know, that's where the line has been pushed really far, I think.
Or what if all these big social media companies, what if they start shifting their political ideology 10, 20 years down the road? You know, you have a new CEO, then are you going to like it when they're trying to censor you?
Right. And I think that's always been the sort of conflict with civilizations, is that, like, you know, like people want to have freedoms, but then it's like they don't always agree.
Right.
And so, but it's like, that's part of having a healthy civilization, is that not everyone agrees.
It's like no matter how left-wing your views are, you should be able to say them. No matter how right-wing your views are, you should be able to say them. All the centrist people, they'll be okay. And they should be able to say it too. But you know what I mean?
As long as you're not threatening harm to somebody, you're not like assaulting, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's not breaking a law.
as long as you're not breaking a law, yeah.
Hey, and they wonder why I keep it 100, they just lie. I do not comply. I'm protected by the Most High. Not scared of a virus. Talk about patriots on the 6, ignore BLM riots, and you know they tracking us on all these devices, and they think they taking my guns. Well, I damn to try. Message to the women because they've been tricked by feminism. Wanna change? Control your position. Get back in the kitchen. Find a man to God. Family now that's really living. Homemakers.
Wait. I got something to say on that.
What you got to
Dang,
say?
he said, want to play your position, get back in the kitchen. So the craziest thing is that just like every other aspect of our culture, I feel like women felt like basically taken for granted and kind of voiceless. And, you know, you had dudes going out to work, getting stressed at work, coming back from work and beating their wife, taking out their stress from work on their wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a time when, like, women, I definitely don't agree with the way women were treated. You know,
Right.
but then the freaking boomerang of that is women should have no, you know, accountability. You should be able to get married and have kids at 40. You don't have to, you know, get married.
40 is the new
You
20.
should just get some sperm insemination, and you know what I mean? Like, it just basically seemed like a boomerang to polar opposite. To where
I've
it's
even
like,
seen women say like they don't want a father for their child. They want to be a single mom. Get like you're saying, a donation, like a sperm donation. Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. And
what
like,
about the kid?
you get a lot of women that hate men and like stuff like that, and it's like, you know, well, what about the fact that you have a son, though? How are you going to hate men, but then you have a son? And you're raising your son to be a man, but you hate men? So subconsciously, what are you telling your son about himself?
Be a feminine man. Be more like a woman.
You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, as a woman, though, when, like, you know how it is for feminine men out there. So you want your son to be that guy and not the guy that you're attracted to? That you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's like they're not thinking bigger picture a lot of times. But, so, I mean, I definitely appreciate that he said women have been tricked. I also think cooking is, you know, you save money. And it's like something that a lot of women like, baking and cooking. If you don't like it, you shouldn't do it. But, I mean, a lot of women are inclined to it. But we've been sort of conditioned away from it. Like, oh, that's women's work. And so you'll be, like, your brain won't be appreciated. You won't have any, you know, any other value beyond the kitchen if you cook. But it's like, look at me. I'm on YouTube with my hubby and I cook every day, okay? Like, we're literally out here, like, you know what I mean? We get so much love from so many people around the world. And it's like, I don't feel at all like my womanhood is stifled in any way. And, like, I still cook.
It's not belittling to cook.
Right. It's like, I still cook every day. You know, it's like, you can have
And she
both.
cooks good, too.
Oh, thank you.
I prefer it to going out to eat.
Thank you. But I taught myself how to cook, too. Nobody taught me how to cook. But it was like, you know, it was like I got discouraged from cooking for you at first. When we first got married.
You weren't that good at it.
Yeah, but not by you. It was like other people.
Right.
Like, you know, why do you cook for him? He cook his own food.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
I think talking about like people wouldn't try your food and stuff.
No, that's a whole different story. But yeah, people were like, you know, why do you cook for him? He should cook his own food, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I think you can have a brain and you can be a valuable team player and you can, you know what I mean? You can still be yourself and do things women do. But nowadays they teach women, basically, if you do anything women do, then you're, you know,
less than a
you're
man.
lessening
and
yourself.
That's a lie.
Yeah. And that's a dang lie. And it's like any good, decent man is going to know that. And he's going to appreciate your femininity. And he's going to like elevate he's going to like help you to bring it out and not have to do so many hard, manly things. Because I feel like girls don't enjoy doing that most of the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like this, like they definitely have lied to us because they'll tell you go do all this, and this, and this, and then you end up doing it and you're stressed, you're pissed off, you hate every man around you, you know, and that's because you have the weight of the world on your shoulders and you really just want to be light and delicate and pretty, you know. But they'll just put it.
They say you're weak if you do that.
Right. So it's really like an internal pressure that's been like forced in our
like
psychology.
who benefits from all this?
The workforce, because they get cheap labor. They get more people.
Double
in
the
workforce.
size of the labor force.
Yeah.
Now the labor's half the price.
Yeah.
So now one guy working can't really support a household.
Yeah.
You need two people.
And then also your kids end up being in in daycare and all this pre-K and all this other stuff because you get, you know, short maternity leave. Like you get a very short window to be with your child, and then they get to condition that child for you while you go off and make money to pay to condition that child. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Oh, So yeah, I definitely, it's like this bar right here is going to piss a lot of people off, but he made a good point, and it's that they have tricked us.
But go ahead.
It's that they have tricked us, and he said it in a way that is like, man, it's like stuff like this is like this will, yeah, it's going to.
The way he says it, people are going to be mad because of it.
Like the way that he said it is condescending because it comes off kind of like, you know, your place is in the kitchen. Like I would be in the kitchen, like because I feel like men really feel like that about the kitchen, you know.
Like you know how the joke goes, why don't women need a driver's license? Because there's no roads between the bedroom and the kitchen. Like guys tell jokes like that, you know what I mean? See? So it's like that kind of energy.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't like driving. I don't like the stress of driving.
But this
you know
is
what I'm saying?
art.
But,
like you always tell me on all the other rants, this is art. This is art.
It is, and
you know
also
what I mean? It's not literal. It's art. Yeah. Yes, the way he said it is artistic. He's making a point. He's being strong and making that point.
But it's also honest, too. And it's like, you know, I think guys honestly do not love being in the kitchen. So it's like, obviously they're not looking at it like, oh yeah, that makes you such a good, you know, but it's like girls, it's like when you admire your guy, you look up to him and you want his approval. So when he looks down on what you do, or he looks down on the activity and appreciates you for doing it, it can be confusing. So he does need to be mature in his delivery. Like not the song, but like your man needs to be mature in his delivery to not shame you for doing something feminine.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's delicate.
That one got you going.
Oh!
We didn't even talk about the Black Lives Matter January 6th stuff because, you know what that is. A BLM riot is not a super spreader event. It's perfectly safe. It's fine. They don't even call it riot, actually. They call it protest. You know what I mean? But then the January 6th is a super spreader event.
This is the thing. This is the thing. People need to realize.
Does science even matter in modern day?
People need to realize that, like, when things are going your way, sure, you turn the other cheek and the other party just gets to suffer. And what people who don't agree with you, like, too bad for them. But the thing is, that is exactly what has happened in the past that ends up screwing people. You will be on the other side of that coin before you die. You will be. Inevitably. So it's like we definitely need to be looking out for each other and having, you know, fair judgments about things.
You can be a BLM rioter, and that's, you know, pandemic safe, but you can't be a church and have an outdoor service that's socially distanced. Can't do that, not allowed.
Like, fair is fair, and it's like,
crazy.
If you don't want to face that because it's going your way right now, then, like, look, 20 years from now, talk to me.
To the women because they've been tricked by feminism, wanna change, control your position, get back in the kitchen, find a man, a guy, have a family, now that's really living, homemakers, judge, that's what we missing, ooh, that's gonna offend them. Message to the man you supposed to lead, while you out here simping, get a job, take care of your wife and stop playing the victim. Message to these Christians, claim to follow Christ, but scripture twisted mad, cause I practice what I preach, and you living different.
I have me on the record saying to you, take a chill pill. Okay?
I don't need to take a chill pill. Here.
Real MAGA gang, fake MAGA, do it for the fame. I can't wear no mask, I'm not vain, more like Bruce Wayne. Been my song on Spotify, hey, and they wonder why I keep it 100, they just lie. I do not.
I like how Bryson's songs always have that, like, they get you hyped type. You know what I mean? They got that, like, hype energy to them.
Right.
So overall, what you think?
I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. You know what I mean? Like, in the end, we even talk about, because we just paused it, but men need to stop simping. You know, take care of your wife. I don't know if it's anything about kids. You know what I mean? Take care of. I think it did. Take care of your wife and kids. Stop playing the victim. And like facts. Facts. Even if you are the victim of something, I mean, if it's not an actual crime or something you can report and all that kind of stuff, yeah, report your crime and all that stuff, but don't be playing the victim. A lot of times as a man, you just have to suck it up, you know, handle your business.
As a woman, too.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is part of being an adult, having responsibility.
Yeah. You can't have, like, if you think about it, like, I feel like in a relationship, you have to learn to be the sort of mother or father that you would want to have. You know? Like, in that relationship, you have to learn to be your own comfort and you have to, like, know when to, like, chill out and be an adult and deal with some things in the real world. Otherwise, you don't need to be in a relationship, and you definitely don't need to be having kids.
Right. And then the simping thing, I mean, simping is at an all-time high. Like, I feel like it's never been this high in history, because it's impossible. Like, the height we have now is because of the internet, social media.
Yeah, and there's dating apps, all kinds of stuff.
A famous, celebrity can start an OnlyFans and make $1 million in 24 hours, you know what I mean? each one of those dollars, probably not everyone, some girls may even buy the celebrities OnlyFans. Who knows, modern day, you know what I mean? But most of those dollars are coming from simps. Most of it. Like OnlyFans makes billions and billions of dollars. At least they generate that much in gross revenue. You know what I mean? It's because of simps. Like the simp economy is huge. Like people need to stop simping. You want to be mad at all these girls for dotting it up and showing all their stuff online, but they're only doing that because simps are driving
it's rewarded, that.
Right. They get reward for every one girl trying to show all of her lady parts online. There's hundreds of simps lining up to see it, to like the photos, to pay for the OnlyFans, all that stuff. Like men need to do their part. It's like we can't hold women accountable or whatever for, all this modern day bullcrap where women want to be men when we're over here acting like simps. And then not me personally, but men in general. It's like so many men doing that. You don't have the right to say anything about women if you're simping.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but men are going to have to lead the culture out of this. Because it's men's problem that we got here. It is. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, so the whole women being aggressive towards their man and being, kind of like that energy. It's like, take her around a real masculine man and you will see femininity come out of her instantly. If she is stressed out, she's got a boss that's harassing her, or, not even like any type of craziness, just like, sort of being authoritative, and like she doesn't want to answer to some other man besides her man, she's going to respect her man less if she's answering to another man. That's just how it is. And then if she's got to cook and clean and all this stuff, plus deal with the children and work a job, she's going to resent him off the bat. So it's like he needs to work extra hard to lighten her load, and by doing home chores and stuff like that, that's temporary. It's not going to really fix it because she wants you to do the heavy lifting, not her. So at the end of the day, the only way we're going to get sort of out of this culturally is for men to get their act together.
Yes, and there are exceptions. Not everyone wants to have typical gender roles. Of course, there's exceptions to everything, but the exception doesn't make the rule. And it's like the reason we're in this mess we are now is because weak men have bent over time and time again throughout the last 100 or so years.
Yeah, doing what's nice or doing what people like instead of doing what's right and what's necessary. That's for sure. And, like women will stand behind you. Like it will literally, it's like we literally can make things, like I feel like our natural skill set and ability, it's like when things are bad, we will make them so much worse. So much worse. But we also have the ability to make it better when they're good. I feel like we decorate, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, this probably sounds dumb, but it's like we literally accentuate and expand and like, you know what I'm saying? But I think he hit on some good points in this song.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the whole overall message. I do not comply.
Yeah,
we just talked about some of the topics.
It's a lot. It's like it's jam-packed.
But like, the government overreach. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
So anytime a big event happens, like on a national scale, that like any kind of tragic event, the government always goes and reaches for too much power, and it's always temporary power. It's temporary power, and we willingly give up. Oh, here's all our freedoms. Here, you can temporarily have our freedoms, and then just give it back when this is over. And they never give it back. They never give it back.
And then
it's like, how long does it take for people to really learn this?
Well, we should have learned it already, but the problem is, I think people have been sort of like beat down so much by like marketing and so much, consumption psychology and just like, everything, to where they don't have the personal like integrity to be like, you know what, I do not comply. Like, you know what, this is not okay with me. I'm not accepting this. Like, they literally are terrified that, they don't want to lose their comfortable life. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their friends. And that's pretty much what it means when you say, I don't agree with something. But if you just let them keep pushing you, then eventually you won't have the life or the friends that you once had. And that's the unfortunate truth.
And to not comply, it doesn't mean like you can't get the jab if you want to get it. You can do whatever you want, but you still don't have to comply with mandates. You don't have to say, oh, because I got the jab, sure, I'll show my paperwork or whatever, and I'll submit to having some kind of app where you can scan to see if I have it. You don't have to comply with that just because you got it. So it's like, he's not saying you have to, he's not trying to make a medical decision for you. Do whatever you want. You know, do what your doctor recommends, but you still don't have to comply with tyranny.
I think it's important to just do what's right for you, but don't let somebody tell you what's right for you.
Yeah, don't give up your rights.
Like, you need to decide that. You are in charge of your life. And you can do it, and you can do a good job. And I think people are not, it's like they've been so like spoon-fed. You know, you don't know anything. Let me take care of it. Let me take care of it. You don't know anything. You don't know. You're so small, so insignificant. You don't know anything. Just work this job, be a cog in the wheel for the rest of your life. Do as I say. You know, and it's like, no, you matter. You're important. You can make these decisions.
I hate it when politicians say stuff like, I'm a voice for the voiceless or for the little man and
You're
all
not.
these kind of things. It's like I never felt voiceless even before we had a YouTube channel. Like, I'm on social media. It's like plenty of people can see myself. All my friends and family can see. Like, I don't feel voiceless. Like if I want to be heard, I feel like I can be heard. And that was before YouTube.
That's just a manipulative.
It's like I feel like it's so condescending.
Right. It's just manipulative. It's
It
just
is.
because most of these politicians went to Ivy League school. Their parents were rich. They might be, you know, an immigrant or something. You know what I mean? It's like they have a whole different life. They never lived like you. They never ate what you ate. They never had the same values as you, and they're not gonna die like you will die. You know what I mean? So it's very like manipulative and condescending, but it seems trustworthy.
Right.
So if you enjoy topics like this, then there's a link in our description for our Brad and Lex Couchcast. You can also search it on YouTube. And on that channel, we don't do music reactions. We just talk about important topics. So I hope you'll join us over there too.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. We the go. She told me, boy, you the go. Like, I don't know. But I don't